Next time on Ding Dong Games. In a shock twist, I'm returning to do a solo run in Pokemon Sapphire. Togepi, a fan favourite from the show, with very weak stats, being unable to abuse Serene Grace in this game, this solo run is not easy, relying massively on RNG. How hard exactly will this run be? Let's find out. Yes, I am going back to a solo run, for the first time in over 7 months. I wanted to give the solo run genre one more go just for old time's sake and see if solo runs are as fun as I remembered. Spoiler alert, they're not. Oh well. I thought it would be interesting, though I will say that this is definitely one of the harder solo runs I've done in recent memory, at certain points especially, and there's a large challenge as you will see in the video. I will be doing a Togepi solo run in Pokemon Sapphire to see how good it is. I'm assuming you already know the rules of the solo run. Now before I start this game, I'll explain a little bit about how hard this really is. As you can see, Togepi's stats are not good. I mean, its defenses are quite good for an unevolved Pokemon, but that's pretty much it. It's hugely outclassed by the starters. Now you may think that with Serene Grace that Togepi is actually broken. That would be correct. But in Gen 3 Hoenn that is not the case. You see, Togepi only learns Ancient Power in Fire Red, and cannot learn it in the Hoenn region, which is a huge setback as Ancient Power Serene Grace is absolutely bonkers. Also, Togepi has no moves to really abuse the Serene Grace RNG in this game. Its best attacking moves are, I think, Flamethrower and Psychic. Return is usable, but that also really depends on the specific set that you're using Togepi with. I will say that Wish and Yawn are very good defensive moves. Unfortunately in this game, you won't be seeing any Air Slash, Power Flinching, Serene Grace shenanigans in this run. But with that established, let the run begin. And here, I already run into my first roadblock. The problem is that Togepi only learns Metronome at level 6. So until then, I've got 60 PP of non-attacking moves, which is bad. I actually thought this was going to be impossible to get through, but I did find a way around this to reach level 6. I have a Bold Nature Togepi, which is actually a pretty good nature. Start the game, get as many potions as possible. Find a level 2 Wild Wurmple, then stall out as much PP as possible with Charm and Growl. You'll be super tanky. Then just run away when your HP is low, recover your HP with a potion, find another Wurmple, rinse and repeat. Do this until you run out of PP, then you struggle. Though be very careful of critical hits. If you faint, you might actually fail the entire run and have to restart. And finally, after a while, I've stalled out all my PP with several potions remaining, and now I beat some Wurmples with struggle. I reach level 6, then learn Metronome. Now the run really begins. With Metronome I can win some battles, but this is so not fun. You've only got 10 PP and it becomes totally RNG dependent. Cause RNG is totally fun, right? Here I lose one battle to my rival, as I got terrible rolls with Metronome. I needed one more attack to win, but just didn't get one. Honestly, I'll say that this run, for the most part, was not very fun. The RNG nature was just obnoxious, as every battle was a complete dice roll which felt so cheap. This will be the case for a long time. But at least I win this battle in the second try, as I get Ancient Power. Now that's more like it. I move on, and most of the battles weren't too bad, but I did have some losses due to Metronome. This Taillow was a threat, but I got the cheesy Psycho Boost for the win. But the low PP is really annoying, as you have to heal up after virtually every battle. Your chances of beating this bug trainer in the forest with the Metronome is very low, unless you get very specific moves, as he's got multiple Pokemon on his team. Yeah, trainers that have more than like 2 or 3 Pokemon on their team are usually a threat, regardless of their level. At least the bug catcher was good next time, as I got 3 good attacking moves in a row. If only all the battles were this smooth. Or like how I got submission against Team Aqua Puchena. Get Shrek'd. If you're lucky, you can get moves like Ice Ball or Rollout, as moves like these will attack multiple times as only 1 PP usage, which is really good. In reality, you can destroy the early game at a pretty low level, if you're lucky with Metronome. Otherwise you'll have to reset, over and over and over again. I've waited out loads of times, which was really obnoxious, but I'll skip straight to the first gym. The Geodudes are a big problem already. Also, leveling up early game doesn't make that much of a difference, due to how the only offensive move that Togepi gets is learned at level 40. I lose a bunch of times again, but eventually make it to Roxanne. The battle is not easy. I do have Yawn and Sweet Kiss for some stall shenanigans, but only 10 metronomes. I get walled, but thankfully get Water Spout. Then I ran out of PP for the nose pass and lost. This ain't it, Chief. I lose again and again and again due to bad luck. Sometimes really dumb shit happens, like using Belly Drum or using Pain Split to heal your opponent. But eventually, after several failures, I get Hydro Cannon on the nose pass and completely destroyed it, which was pretty climactic. Sweet. Time to move on. This battle here was really funny. I ignore Brawly for now, as I'm not about the fighting types. Unless I roll like 2 Dragon Rages in a row, I'll just ignore that. This battle was funny as I ran out of metronomes and was stalling hard, and eventually ended up winning with struggle with only 1 HP left. Look! I lose once again against the Team Acro Guns, but next time I get past them. And I lost several times to this trainer with a Minun. At this point, almost every trainer here is a big threat, and the one right next to Rival 2 needed like 10 respawns to beat. But you want to see a hard battle? The next Brethren battle was hard, and so frustrating. Battling him was like rolling a 30-sided dice and losing like 29 of the times. What was especially obnoxious was how I got so close to winning several times, but just fell short against the Combuskin. Whalmer ain't too hard to beat, but the Combuskin is a huge pain as it can easily 2-shot you. Extreme luck is needed here. The only way you can get past Combuskin is by using Sweet Kiss and Yawn on it. And it has to hit itself twice in confusion, or else you'll almost always go down. I confuse it, but it still keeps on hitting me. I was so raging as the RNG got absolutely horrible. Like Renegade Platinum levels of bad, where you'd get status on your opponent and they'd barely ever get hacks by it. The funny thing is that a bunch of people in my last video actually confirmed to me that Renegade Platinum's RNG did feel a bit rigged at times. I failed so many times that my Togepi is now level 29 from reattempting this fight. You could grind up to level 40, but I didn't want to do that. But then, it finally happened. I won in the most fitting way possible finally. I transformed into Combuskin and swept as the previous wish healed me. God, this was a crazy resolution. Thank God for that. Time to move on. I'm almost free from this metronome nightmare. The trainers outside Watson's gym are really hard. They mostly have multiple Pokemon and can easily PP stall you, and I got absolutely wrecked many times. Now, I know you might have asked why I simply haven't just stopped and grinded and gotten access to Double Edge at level 40, and yeah, I could have done that. But the grinding process was extremely slow and just not worth doing. I could have used a daycare center, but I was unsure whether or not that would be allowed in a solo run, so I just didn't do that. I need to beat Watson and get TM Shockwave, then I can put in work with Togepi. But that's easier said than done. Well, unless you're really specky and you pull off Metronome, Dragon Dance, Earthquake Sweep or something like that, really unlikely. Sometimes I rolled Memento or Explosion. Hey, I finally beat this trainer by using a struggle strategy of all things. Sometimes the best strategy is the most simple one. But for Watson, this is not the case. You want to know the hardest battle of the run? This was the hardest battle of the run, right here. He's got 3 Pokemon which are such a pain as I got horrible hacks in almost all my attempts and they all outspeed you. I'm able to tank damage and spam Sweet Kiss and Recovery, but you keep getting paralysed by Thunder Wave and sometimes confused as well. Or you just get hacks by Spark, because why the hell not? Oftentimes you have a great start, then have 5 bad metronomes in a row, run out of PP, then get wrecked by the final Magneton. So annoying. You could hypothetically, theoretically maybe, get enough money to buy TM Flamethrower from the game corner, and with that you can completely trivialise Watson. But good luck finding a way to get enough money to do that. Hell, many times I couldn't even get past the first Magnemite, it was completely dice roll dependent. Or I was in a position where I could have won had I just gone off one more attacking move on the final Magneton, only to get paralysed or some jank. I was seriously losing my cool, but after many tries I finally got through this. In the last battle, I got calmined and almost lost here, while getting several bad rolls of metronome. This was looking bad, but to my surprise, I got Fire Punch. Oh baby. Then against Voltorb I got Mud Sport and Flamethrower, making Togepi a super tank. That Calmite was really useful. Then, in the most epic way possible, with only one metronome PP left, a miracle happened. I got Heat Wave, one-shotting Magneton, winning the battle. Oh, I'm just glad that's over, cause now, this solo run is free real estate. Now that I finally have a good attacking move to use, after learning Shockwave and Double Edge, the difficulty just goes down drastically. The worst is done. I mean, for now at least. Before resuming my journey, I get the Macho Brace and completely destroy the Windstreet family with this newfound power. Then I use a Macho Brace to max out my EV values for HP. Since I'm not that high level and I've still got plenty of EVs left to gain. Doing this for HP is a good idea since mathematically, Togepi has pretty good defenses, particularly physical defense with the bold nature is actually really high, so increasing my defenses by a fixed amount will have a more diminished return, but increasing its extremely low HP stat by a fixed 64 amount at level 100 will increase the durability by a very large percent for both defenses, as proportionally speaking 64 is a much higher percentage for HP because it's really low. Now that I'm done EV training my HP, I flex on everything from here to Flannery's gym with my new offensive moves. Too easy. Archie is easy as all hell, as Shockwave whips his team. The idiot goes for Sand Attack. The fool. I did lose twice to Flannery, but that's due to my relatively low level, I mean for an average solo run, and flat out bad luck. I insta lose the first attempt due to poison. The first two Selgamos are not so bad, it's just the second one that sets up Sunny Day for Torkoal. The fact that Togepi can stall and heal with the Yawning Wish is very nice. The second battle I lost because I lost too much health against the Slugmas, but on the third attempt I win. Double Edge one-shot Slugma, then I can stall at the Torkoal as Overheat weakens it and then I just beat it. Alright. Norman's next. In this battle was not hard as Togepi has really high physical defense and can easily stall out. Slackings are strong as all hell, but the bad AI combined with the Truant ability is just too easy to abuse. Not much to see here. This continues to be the case as Togepi plows through almost everything here. Even the next rival battle was no challenge. It is satisfying to see the Combusken get completely whipped. Now I just skip straight to the Winona boss battle and I did lose one time as Swellow used Endeavour, the cheeky prick. But next time was no challenge at all as I used Yawning Wish first, then just spam Shockwave and destroy everything while also healing up my HP. Altaria takes a Double Edge, then goes down. This is getting a bit anticlimactic actually. The next rival battle really dumbfounded me. The Combusken went for a peck in flipping Sand Attack. Wait, what? Why? I'm pretty sure that Combusken had like Ember and Double Kick and Bulk Up and Focus Energy. Why did it have Peck and Sand Attack? What the hell? You know, I'm not even surprised. The AI in these games seriously has like a million extra chromosomes. Be gone. There's literally nothing to see here, so I'ma skip straight to the next noteworthy battle, and this time I got challenged real hard, though probably not as much as the Watson battle. The Tate and Liza battle are almost always a pain to do in solo runs. I had to bring my HM Slave, which basically did nothing and the opponents will always target it for an attack anyways. My level wasn't that high relative to a solo run, and I got my ass handed to me. Fire Blast with the Solrock Sunny Day was my strongest move, which wasn't even that great. Lunatone was a major threat, as I had good special attack and defense. I could use Hypnosis and Calmite. I used a Lax Incense as my item, but that didn't really do much. I lost many times, as I couldn't deal enough damage and I just got ganked up on. There was almost always some kind of hacks involved in the battles, like a critical hit or a special defense drop or getting hit by Hypnosis. I was not going to win at this level, so I left and cleared out every trainer to gain some levels. I returned after reaching level 70, and finally found a way to win after several more losses. I taught Togepi Shadow Ball, and focused on attacking Lunatone instead, as its physical defense is lower, and that was a bigger threat. At this level I'm just able to two-shot it, Once Lunatone goes down, I can easily stall the Solrock and win. Alright. This is the hardest battle. Well, arguably until the Elite Four. From now it's back to easy sailing. RG poses absolutely no threat as Shockwave destroys him. Kyogre could have easily beaten me, but instead it used Ice Beam and Body Slam instead. That was weird. Wallace also wasn't hard as Togepi is just too bulky. If it weren't for Wish though, this battle would have been much harder. Yeah, the problem is that Togepi's special defense is notably lower than its really high physical defense. The end is near. After clearing out Victory Road, Wally was a bit hard. I lost once to him. Altaria isn't too difficult to beat. Magneton's a pain as I deleted Fire Blast, but Roselia was the biggest threat as it used Toxic and Leech Seed, and it outspeeds. I'll need to find a way around this. I somehow won in my second attempt, but it was really dicey, as the first Pokemon paralysed me already, but I was somehow able to stall and win the rest of the battle. I guess being immune to Toxic at that point was actually really good as Togepi gets outsped anyways. The final Roselia was a huge stall war, but I eventually won in the end though it was really tense. And with that, it's now time for the final part of the solo run. I'll definitely need a strategy for this, as there's no way I'm winning at this level. I did do a test run against Sydney at level 80 which is pretty low. I had to give Togepi Fire Blast again for coverage, but this is already proving to be too difficult. My Jenna isn't too hard, the only issue is that it uses Sand Attack. Man, stop it with the accuracy shenanigans. Cacturne's easy to beat. As long as Fire Blast hits, I mean you could use Flamethrower as well, but I use Fire Blast. Sharpedo gets zapped by Shockwave. Absol is also beatable, but RNG definitely matters at this level, as you can get unlucky here, and if you do you'll probably lose. Same goes for the Shiftry. Fire Blast destroys it, but you might have to reset a few times to get that to work. Well, I guess that's the first Elite Four member down. However, Phoebe ends up just destroying me with her Ghost types. I didn't stand a chance. So I went to grind. With my emulator's super speed up, this was surprisingly fast. Then I re-attempted the challenge. This time I made use of Shadow Ball, as Yawn won't be necessary at this point. I do notice that Sydney is way easier now, so I should be able to beat Phoebe at this point. Alright, Dusclops tried to confuse me, but ended up doing nothing. I did end up losing again due to attract and burn stall shenanigans, but next time I make it. I don't get burnt, so our remaining 3 Pokemon can't harm me. Special attacking Banette? Really? But now Phoebe's down as well. Glacia wasn't too hard, but damn it I got frozen and lost. I decided to just screw it and just gain some more levels, as I'll most likely have to do more grading anyways, and I did lose a few times on the way back to Glacia, so I gained even more XP from that. But eventually at this level, almost level 100, I do beat Glacia. Now Phoebe is way easier than last time, but Glacia isn't that hard unless you get unlucky. Shockwave to Celios while using Wish to recover, Fire Blast to Glalie, and make sure that your HP is high before Walrein comes out. If your HP is almost full, you should be able to beat Walrein by just spamming Shockwave no problem. If only Togepi got Thunderbolt, oh well. Now Drake's left to be beaten. For this battle I replaced Shadow Ball for Psychic, as I won't need Shadow Ball anymore at this point. This did take a few tries, but I did get through eventually. I did decide this time to save before the Drake battle, just to save some time. But this is another RNG dependent battle. Shelgon will almost always outspeed and go for Rock Tomb, but it won't deal much. Altaria in the following 2 Flygons are in the 2 to 3 hit KO range, and they can't hurt you that badly, and you can just stall them out. The only issue is that for some reason they use Dragon Breath instead of Dragon Claw, which can paralyze you pretty frequently, which is really annoying. If you're at a high HP, you can beat the Salamence as it deals surprisingly low damage. I got unlucky and got Parahaxed a few times. I was so close also. I then lost 5 more times, as there was always some kind of bad RNG on my side, which was really obnoxious. Eventually I pulled through and managed to hit the Salamence enough times to stop it with Shockwave. I could have used PP up on Psychic to make this way easier, but I made it through regardless. With that done, the end is nigh. I make one change by replacing Psychic with Water Pulse for the final battle, then go to beat the final boss of the run. Honestly, this solo run wasn't that fun. Solo runs in general are nowhere near as fun as nuzlockes, in my opinion. Solo runs in general are nowhere near as fun as nuzlockes, in my opinion, as this playthrough was pretty much autopilot for the most part, with no really lasting consequences. Togepi was hard, but most solo runs consisting of other things like Poliwag or Zigzagoon or even solo runs of people using legendary Pokemon unironically, which sounds absolutely ludicrous, are not hard at all. I most likely won't return to this genre. But now it's time for the finale. Time for a montage. Cue the montage. And with that, the run's over. Funnily enough, Stephen was actually the easiest Elite 4 member for me to beat. I do have great coverage for him. Oh yeah, and his team also completely sucks ass. And now the solo run's over. I've beaten the game with just a Togepi. Here's the final stats. This run wasn't that fun, especially the first half. Oh god, the metronome dice roll was unbelievably annoying. I do not recommend this. If you want to use a baby Pokemon that's not very strong, use something like Igglybuff or some jank. But this pretty much concludes the video. Yeah, I got nothing more to say really. Anyways, I will see you all next time. This is Ding Dong, signing out.